By 1968, my parents were in Washington, D.C., and my dad had taken a job at Howard University, a leading African-American university. They hired him sight unseen, simply on the strength of his resume, a fact that astounds me to this day. Now, my folks don't like to make a big deal out of this, but in the late 60s, race relations were not so good in the U.S., and they lived only 2 blocks from where the riots broke out on 14th Street after Martin Luther King was assassinated. My worried grandparents begged them to come home to Rochester, but they stuck it out. It really was extremely brave of them, and it couldn't have been easy, especially since this is where I enter the picture. God help them. I don't really remember that much from that time in D.C., or anything for that matter, because in 1970, my dad took a job at Alfred University. Alfred is a very small rural town in western New York, and it really is where my brother and I grew up. Alfred is a very special place to me, and I have a million cherished memories from my childhood there. Like when my mother used to tie me to a clothesline post because she was afraid I would dart off into traffic. Traffic. Yeah. The mean, bustling streets of Alfred, New York. Funny thing, of the thousands of pictures we have in the family archive, there's not one of me tied to that pole. I wonder why that is. On a more serious note, of the gazillion things my folks have given me over the years, I think the gift that I cherish the most is my appreciation and love for the arts. Whether it was school plays, high school jazz band, or writing my own music, they always encouraged me to do what makes me happy. During the 70s, my folks were very busy. Mom was taking night classes to get her bachelor's and master's in counselor education, and Dad was working full-time as both librarian and family cook. Dad had volunteered to do the cooking so Mom could go to school at night, and it's been that way ever since. Now, this has been a source of discussion in my family for quite some time, and I really don't want to get into any trouble, so I will simply read to you the official family position on this topic. Ann Connolly does not cook. It's not that she can't cook, she prefers not to. Mom eventually got a job as a high school guidance counselor and spent the next 22 years shepherding youth to college. I never really knew how good she was at her job until it was time for me to apply to college. I was 17, and one day I announced to her, "Mom, I want to go to Yale." Now, my grades were decent, but there's no way in hell I was getting into Yale. My mom looked a bit fazed, but she simply said, "Okay, if that's what you want." The next day, my mom brought home the Yale application, and she said, "I'll make you a deal. You can apply to Yale only if you apply to Ithaca College as well." She knew what she was doing because I ended up getting into all of the schools I applied to. None of which I should say was Yale. Dad was having success as well. In 1983, he was appointed director of the school's Library of Ceramics at Alfred. During his tenure as director, he oversaw the construction of the new school's library building, a massive undertaking. As with my mother, I didn't fully comprehend that he was really good at his job until a personal experience I had when I was a sophomore in college. I was taking a class in library studies, and on the first day, when the professor called my name during roll call, he looked up and asked if I was of any relation to Bruce Connolly at Alfred University. I was stunned and amazed. Apparently, my dad was the Joe DiMaggio of librarians. I was nothing but proud of the old man. Upon his retirement in 1999, Dad was awarded the coveted Chancellor's Award for librarianship. Now, there's only one given out a year by the state of New York, and my dad's got one.
April in Paris.
In 2000, Dad made good on his promise and took my mom to Paris. It was the trip of a lifetime. They toured Europe and stopped in London, Rome, Florence, Venice, and of course, Paris. Of all the sights, the one my dad probably remembers most vividly is the Moulin Rouge. And yes, all of the rumors are true. The ladies don't wear no clothes. Excuse me.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight.
Well, that pretty much takes us up to today here at the Green Lantern Inn. My folks are both happily retired now, and their lives are a bit quieter. Except, of course, when the grandkids are over. Oh, didn't I tell you? My folks are the proud grandparents of 3 of the most beautiful and active boys this world has ever seen. In 1998, my brother and his wife Cindy welcomed Ryan Bruce into the world. 2 years later, Justin David arrived, and 2 years after that, Daniel Kevin made his way into the family circle. That's a lot of boys. It's great to see how happy these boys make my parents. When I see my folks with the grandkids, it feels like I'm getting a glimpse of what my folks might have been like when Kevin and I were small. So, my parents. 40 years. Wow. If you look around the room, Mom and Dad, you'll see a lot of the people that have made your lives full. And more importantly, these are people on which you've had an effect. So, I guess what I really want to say with this is thank you. Thank you for kissing my skin knees, for making me dinner, for buying me a drum set when I knew you really didn't want to, for teaching me that love is the only thing that matters, for waking up in the middle of the night when I was crying, for driving me to soccer practice, for working so hard to send me to college, for my blue eyes, for holding me close and then letting me go, for taking me to the doctor's office when you were dead tired, for sending me money, for giving me my love for music, for not killing me when I was a teenager, for cheering me on both on stage and off, for kicking my ass when I needed it, and most of all, thank you for my life. Congratulations, Mom and Dad. All my love, Jason.